Whoever says everything is bigger in Texas hasn't met Susie Mendoza. She is a miniaturist who loves to create three-dimensional pieces of art that fit in the palm of your hand. And she's here to share some of her many masterpieces with us and more about how she got started. Oh my gosh, Susie, it's so nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you too.
My sister had what we called a little mouse house, and she loved all things miniature, and I also adopted that same love. How did you get started with this and these little tiny masterpieces?
Well, we grew up very modestly. My parents are immigrants from Cuba. And we started very modestly. We would go to a restaurant and my dad would entertain me by walking in front of this set of stores, and one of them was a store called the Dollhouse Lady, and I was mesmerized. But I also knew that we could not afford that. It was a luxury, and that always stayed with me. And when I joined the military, I happened to move into an apartment that was just a few blocks away from a dollhouse store in Groton, Connecticut.
Which you don't see anymore.
You don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
There's very, very few. There might be 6 in the entire nation. And I walked in because it called to me, and this was the beginning again.
A beginning again. So you took a pause for a while. Your career was reignited.
Yes.
And you came back to these miniatures.
Yes.
They are masterpieces.
Thank
they
you.
really, really are. Let's take a look at some of these creations. If we can get some close-up. Show me about some of these and how you were able to create them on such a small scale.
Well, these are, a lot of these are 3D printed.
Oh, cool.
And so I use filament and resin printing, and then I also use a laser cutter. And so really, I take my inspiration from everything that's in the world, and then you can just recreate that in miniature. I mean, some of them are clearly name brand items. Like there's a set of Lincoln logs.
Starting over here, actually. Let's begin there.
There's this little set here that has, it's a little resin pond.
And it lights up.
And it lights up, so, you know, we have miniature electricity.
That's so cool.
And then, you know, over here we have a different kind of electricity. It's still a battery pack, but there's a wine cooler, because who doesn't need a wine cooler in the house with some wine?
Who doesn't need a wine cooler in the house?
In their house, right?
That is so cool. It must take, though, a lot of patience when you're dealing with something so tiny. I want to point here. This is a teeny tiny birthday cake. So cute down here. How are you able just to kind of get into that kind of detail and do so masterfully? I'm going to turn this around so you can see really how intricate those designs are. Oh, I'm sorry, I just knocked over some of your miniatures.
That happens all the time.
Nothing broke, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't even worry about it.
But I mean, how are you able to do that so delicately?
Well, the beautiful part is that particular item is made out of clay. It was another item that definitely called to me because I used to be a cake artist in between.
Really?
And so after about 15 years of doing that, I went to a miniature show and I took a class, and this was the cake that we were going to create. So because I had created this in real life, it was very easy for me to move it to miniature. And that's really what's kind of happened, is that I've been able to take the skills that I've learned in my adult life as an artist and then just miniaturize them. And sometimes I create my own tools so that I can get the finish that I want.
And there's so much charm in all of these. That I'm looking at, I don't even know if you can see because it's so small, but of course we're seeing these darling, beautiful chairs that are here, another table setting. Also, you've got a little miniature piñata over here as well. There are little, if you can see that little tiny, that's a Chick-fil-A sandwich over there. It is so tiny, and there's so much delight in that. And also bringing something back, because the notion of dollhouses and this kind of imaginative play has really, in many ways, been lost to screens, to what kids are doing.
Yes.
And being able to actually play with your imagination, create these fantasies of your own little world, that I think is still so important for a child.
It is super important for a child. It gives them a creative outlet. It gives them a place where they can have the perfect little world however it is that they imagine it. And it's all good and clean and just a wonderful experience.
And you also have the opportunity for people to, you host the Texas Miniature Showcase.
Yes.
I'm curious a little bit about that. When is the class and when does registration open?
Registration is for the classes will open on December 1st. The show is May 30th, and May 29th and 30th in Dallas. And we raise money for Cook Children's Hospital with auctions. And we have about 60 dealers that will come. They are artisans from all over the world, and classes will start on the Thursday prior to that.
This is
So,
fantastic. Thank you so much.
thank you
we
for having me.
appreciate it. I appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.
I love this world of miniature that you've created.
Thank you so much.